Hi guys, today what we're going to do is transfer our ideas from our plan into a draft. So yesterday we planned out a fairy tale. You planned it on this hamburger plan. So we're going to talk about today extending those ideas into our draft writing. So let's start by having a look at the ideas that we came up with here in the introduction. The setting was a castle in winter in the olden days. The characters were a witch, a beautiful princess, and a lonely farmer. And a hook at the problem is that the witch is jealous of the beautiful princess. So let's look how we can write those ideas into our first paragraph. So this is what I've come up with using these ideas in my introduction. This is my first paragraph. Once upon a time there was a wicked witch who lived in a tall tower. She ruled over her kingdom and everyone despised her. One day a beautiful princess was born. She grew to be good and kind and everyone in the kingdom adored her. Everyone except the witch. So you can see in this introduction that I've said where and I've said who. I haven't mentioned the farmer yet because he comes in later. And I've hinted at the problem about the witch being jealous. Now I'm going to work on my next paragraph about the witch being jealous of the princess. So remember, I've got my ideas here about it. I've got that the witch rules the kingdom. She's born and people admire her and people in the kingdom like her more. So here is my extension of these ideas written into a paragraph. The witch was unkind and mean. She made people do everything she wanted and ruled with fear. When the princess was born, everyone loved her. As she grew up, people could tell that she was kind, caring, and good, and they wanted her to rule the kingdom. The witch was so jealous and decided to do something about it. Okay, so now we're looking at this next part of the story. This is going to be our next paragraph, the bit where the witch casts the spell on the princess. And here I'm going to be extending on these ideas here. So the ideas that I've come up with from this part of the plan are: the witch took out her book of spells and found the one she wanted. She cast a spell on the princess to make her ugly. Her hair became matted, her body fat, and her face covered in warts. But she did not change her personality, and the princess was still good and kind. Finally, the witch banished her to live in the country forever. Okay, now we're going to look at this last bit where we develop the problem of the princess going to live in the country. And I'm going to make sure that I write sentences about these points that I've come up with. So my ideas from this part of the plan in sentences are: the princess was lonely in the country, but she found work on a farm helping to milk cows. One day a farmer from a neighbourhood farm came to visit. He looked past the princess's looks and saw her beauty within, her goodness and kindness. They fell in love and were married. Now we're going to look at this last bit and putting this into sentences, the resolution. So taking the ideas in the resolution and extending them into sentences. One day the wicked witch died. The people in her kingdom were relieved, but they wanted their beautiful princess back. A huntsman set out to find her. He travelled for days until at last he found her in the country and asked her and her husband to come back. They returned to the castle. One day, while looking through some of the witch's things, they discovered her spell book. They reversed the spell of ugliness, and the princess returned to her former beauty, and they all lived happily ever after. So now what you have to do is take all your ideas that are in your hamburger plan and turn them into sentences. Remember, each part of the hamburger is a different paragraph, and you're extending on the ideas that you've come up with for each part. Good luck.